Welcome, everybody, to the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast, a weekly podcast hosted by four drivers from the PDX Sim team. Myself, Sean, followed up by Jimbo, Coach Mike, and Todd. Join us every Monday as we drop a new episode of the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast where we talk about sim racing, motorsports, and street cars, and just kind of chit-chatting and bullshitting along the way. So join us every Monday for a new episode of the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much, and enjoy the show. Real quick, if you're a sim racer and you're looking for a new sim rig, check out the affiliate link down below for Extreme Sim Racing. I run an Extreme Sim Racing cockpit. It's well built. There's no flex. They got great customer service. They got all kinds of products. So check out the Extreme Sim Racing affiliate link. We'd really appreciate it. At the bottom, there's a support the show link. That'll take you to our PayPal account. If you'd like to donate to the show, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening, and enjoy the show. Woo! Yeah, baby. We are live. We are live. We are live. Episode 33 of the Dgdr podcast. We got all the boys with us today. Jimbo, Coach Mike, Todd. And we got Molt back with us again this week. How's everyone doing?
Hello. Wow.
All
Listen
right.
to that excitement. Man, everybody is so excited.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Woo! So, yeah. We're back. It's Monday. We're rolling. We're going to be racing tonight. It's going to be good times. Just chilling in the studio right now. And,
So how did you like this last week of races?
pretty
That was
decent.
pretty good.
I didn't do as much as I wanted to, though, as usual.
Did a lot of practicing
Yeah.
for other things. I did having the manufacturers in the middle of the week sort of screwed things up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
There was two of them too, Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Didn't practice for either one. Once the
Overall,
season
the
comes.
race was great.
Once,
It just didn't have a strategy.
yeah. Yeah, it was, Wednesday was Daytona, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that was a good race. I enjoyed that race. I had a decent race. And that one was pretty fun. Saturday, not
Cool.
so much.
Superior posted Mike's incident.
Ooh, that's right.
with the Louis Desidio chalky mattress jerkwad. So
Fuck
I don't
him.
know if
Fuck-
he ever did posted of the race that I gave him, but the more we can get out there.
Yeah. And definitely,
It's
too, go check out Mike's stream because you can see from Mike's point of view what happened. God, that guy is such a dirtbag.
Yep.
that was like I enjoyed that race until then.
Right?
That
Yeah, he
just-
was
it
going
just
well
ruined it.
for you till the very end.
Yeah.
You know, and just and then I looked at it afterwards when I watched it from Superior because he showed a couple different points at the end, and I didn't see the aftermath as well. After I got by, he was running out of gas.
Jesus.
That was why he decided to slow down and fucking stop and fuck with me all the time. Because I can't finish.
Right.
Everybody's gonna pass me. And yeah, he just he took me out before he ran out of gas.
God.
Yep. He is a dirtbag. If he can't win, no one else should win either.
Yeah, it was
Just
unfortunate.
what we were talking about last week.
Yep, exactly.
It was
They're
a
just
shame.
stupid.
Yep, that's the bullshit right there that comes with it.
Did you guys see
hopefully we
the
can get
part
him
where?
banned.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see the part where he was trying to take out the Lamborghini?
Hmm.
No, did
Like,
not see that.
yeah, he was trying to take out the Lamborghini, but the Lamborghini, I guess, didn't know. Like, it wasn't registering that he could see him on track. It seemed
Oh, wow.
like there was one too. Like the Lamborghini was like basically a tank, and he was trying everything he can to wreck him. It just wasn't working.
Wasn't happening for that
great.
guy.
Good.
Yeah.
It's just people like this. It's like this. My second race on Saturday. Just I don't even think these dudes were dirty. They just have really bad racecraft and just decide to push and pass in areas that you don't do it in. Like, wait. They're literally, we were like 3 corners away from a straightaway where they would have gotten past, where one of them would have gotten past me.
Yep.
And the other one was at the very beginning of the race. And it's like, geez.
Yeah,
come
to
on,
pass
guys.
on that one on the Nordschleife, that's tough. You got to have skills to pull that shit off in some of those corners.
Yeah, and both of them, no
Yeah.
matter what, would have been able to get me on the straightaway at the very end of the lap.
Right. Right. And true skill, too, would know when to pass and when not to pass because there's some corners you just can't pass on. And no one realizes that.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, and one was a TRC driver that took you out, Chip.
Yeah, there was a TRC driver that took me out, but he stopped and waited. The other two did not. I wasn't worried about the TRC guy, because he stopped, waited for me to pass, and then we proceeded on. And then I was so out of it, I wrecked again. And it was my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even trying to pretend that I had issues mentally after that shit happened.
Right.
But
Well, yeah, one mistake leads into more mistakes. That's for sure. Because that happened to me, too.
Usually does. Yes.
It's just frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, having that happen is just pure frustration for me. And
Yeah, you just get in your head. And
Yeah, lose focus.
Then-
like, it's not. It'd be different. I can accept the things that I did. It's hard to accept the things that other people do because they won't be patient.
Yep.
Like, that's the frustrating part. So I felt really fast there too. That's the thing. I threw down 58 in the practice, and I think I threw down a low 59 or a low 58 in qualifying, and qualified 4th.
Nice. Shit.
I did well.
Nice.
No, I think I'm no top split guy,
Right.
but for where we were racing, I felt really fast.
Yeah, because
And
that's
then
a
just-
tough one. That's a tough one to
Yeah.
be fast at, that's for sure.
Yeah. But and I did the Nordschleife because it's the Nordschleife.
Mm-hmm. Same.
But I don't think we should be doing races on the full track. I don't. I don't
people
think
can't
that
drive.
if people can't drive well enough to race on that track. If we're gonna race, it should just be at the GP circuit. Honestly,
Yeah, I agree.
I know, it's sad to say that because I love that track. I love those going out in the Nordschleife. It's the best. But I agree. You can't race with half the fucking people, 3/4 of the people in the game on that. They don't understand it. They don't understand that you can't race it like the same way that not every corner is a passing corner. Like there's just but it's unfortunate because I love racing.
Right.
That thing.
Yeah, it's
It's
fun.
a shame that everybody feels this way, and from doing the from the backs, from like ranking up on stream and stuff. Like I feel like there's a lot of people, like not just y'all, but like a lot of people that are insanely frustrated with the sportsmanship in the game, to where there's just like every lobby, like at the lower levels, is insanely toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that this needs to be addressed by PD at some point. Like,
But we've
I
talked
hate for us
about
to go
we've
back
talked
to
about just. I think that people should be getting. I think that people should be getting, taken out of the have. I don't think they should be able to do sport mode.
Yeah.
If you get a certain amount of, if your DR drops a certain amount, I don't think you should be able to do sport.
Yeah, I agree. Because, like, I know for a fact that if you slap, like, us and a couple other, like, decent drivers that are really good with, like, sportsmanship, and we all go on the ring tonight, like, we will have a pretty banging race. And it's a good track to race on because it's a driver's track, you know what I mean? It's a shame that everybody feels this way. It kind of like, it makes me a little sad. That's all. It makes me a little sad.
Right. It does.
You know,
Well,
I
you
love
just
the game
have,
have fun.
because you just have people that are idiots.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you have to be. The weird thing is you have to be around a bunch of people that you like play with all the time or that are friends to get good clean racing.
Yep.
For the most part. I mean, when Mike and I were practicing, for one of the races a couple weeks ago. No, not Barcelona. Brazil. Dude, I mean,
Interlagos.
just on, racing cleanly through every corner, a few taps that are, yep, you're going to have that happen. You're going to bump into each other, but not pushing each other off of tracks. And
I
they
think
just,
there was even then it wasn't even really any bumps. It was just it was like mirrors rubbing.
yeah,
Like, and we were going side by side through corners, like all the way through the infield of that thing, like multiple times. It was just back and then back and forth, and like it's not hard to do, but people just don't understand. And this is like, if they could only understand and do it, they would they would realize that it feels absolutely amazing to race like that. Like, you no longer have to race for the win and knock everybody out. If you can race side by side, like the adrenaline rush, the feel, and like the excitement of it, that's more than enough at times. Then you get those battles for 12th and 11th where you're side by side and like, yeah, who gives a shit? Yeah, we give a shit because this is fucking fun as hell. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. The thing
like
is,
sometimes
it's not. I mean, yeah, we love to win. All of us love to win. That's one of the reasons we race. But we also race to have those exciting experiences. When you get done with the race and you're sweating and your heart's pounding because you just had a great battle for eighth place. For eighth place.
The thrill of the race.
Yeah.
The thrill of the race, not the like. And there's the thrill of victory, and that, like, it's totally different. And yeah, it's great to win, but if you're not even experiencing the thrill of the race, why are you even doing it? Because the victory is going to be tasteless if you're not even enjoying the race along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I don't understand. Like, you can't how people can enjoy knocking people out and say, yeah, like I win. That's, to me, it's cheating. It's like, might as well use hacks. You might as well fucking, you know what I mean, take a head start, or, you know what I mean, like exploit the game and shit like that. Like, enjoy the race. That side by side fun action, win or lose, you get that heart pounding and adrenaline, and then when you get that win, it's gonna feel all that much better. Especially when you've had like an exciting battle back and forth. When you win, it'll be a fuck yeah, across the finish line. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the best feeling of your life. You know what I mean? As opposed to just knocking people out and winning. Like,
yeah, but people
it's just
don't.
like, yeah,
People,
I won.
Mm-hmm.
people want the
You know what I mean?
gratification from winning. They don't
Yeah,
want
but
the.
it's not really like.
I agree, but I completely agree. That's not the fun part of racing. The fun part of
It's not
racing
even
is
that.
going back and forth and all of that. That's honestly some of the most enjoyable races I've finished like 10th or 11th.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's not even like the people. I understand people like the to win, but excuse me, the win without that any feeling to it though. Like, yeah, I won, and then you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, and you're into the next race, whatever. And like, you know what I mean? Whereas I've had battles that and win races in battles. Like, I've had some pretty epic wins as well, and it's been. I've talked about it afterwards. It was such a good feel. Like, I'm so excited about it afterwards because it was a race. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, dirty driving. Not like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, yeah, you win, but it's
Or
like the
just
feeling goes away.
I got out front and beat everybody by
Yeah, and
anywhere
yeah,
between 2 and 10 seconds. I mean, that's fun to win that race, but at the
yeah,
same
but
time,
that feeling goes away like so
yeah,
quickly, and opposed to like you have this massive battle with one, two, three, four, five guys, at the front of the pack, and you end up winning or even second place, whatever. Like that feeling of that podium and victory of sorts, or whatever it is, lasts so much longer. You know what I mean? Like you feel it into the next race, the next day, even. You know what I mean? Especially if you've been on a bit of a slump. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And you get that. You know what I mean? Like people need to realize, like, and I think understand that. If they did, they would be like, "Wow, okay, this is a better way to do it." You know what I mean? They just got to
yeah.
get
But
themselves to get to
sadly,
that point.
we have too many players that just want either the win um, or they're trying to finish as high as possible, and they'll do it any way they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just don't care about any of that. Because I think honestly, people who drive the way that like Dinicio does and Campo does and most Brazilians do, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, I
They
don't
just
give a shit.
they just don't give a shit. They don't care about being a good race car driver. They don't care about anything other than the win.
Oh
And
yeah.
they don't care about the joy of competition.
Mm-hmm.
Um which is very um it's sad.
Sad. It
Mm-hmm.
is. It's sad. Like and that's exactly it.
Yes.
Because like when it happens and things happen, go south. Like in your races, you had like people knocking you get out of your mindset and whatnot, and it just deteriorates things. But it's just sad at the same time to see people act that way. It's just like, okay, fine. Like I see it happening, I see it coming. Like even with Delicio there in my race on Wednesday, it was just like I know who he is. I know what's gonna happen. So in Todd was watching, like I just let him go. Here, man, go. Fuck, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even gonna fuck with you. I'll,
Hmm.
I'll lose one position. I've had a great race. So I'll just take this instead of dying.
Right.
Like that was my mindset in the way. And then it was just like he was letting off, and I couldn't understand why going into the first corner, and then he ran me wide. I was just like I wasn't sure, and at that point I was like I had to go, and it just continued, just like this. Like it's so sad that like that's your life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you had the fucking thing. Like it's fucking yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh
shit
yeah.
sucks.
Unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah, and the next question is how old is he?
Right? Oh, oh,
Gotta
fuck,
be 12.
dude. I wish we got to get him on. Get him on the show.
Fuck.
Get him on the show. Anyone knows who the fuck this guy is, let's get him on the show. I want to know, so we know why, how old he is, what's your motivation? Why do you do what you do? But he's the guy that he would never do it.
Next?
He's silent. He's a ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Is there
He's the biggest
any
loser
logic?
in the, I guess, North American region in South America for racing. He is.
Well, and this is the sad thing. He's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put down the fastest lap in the race.
He's fast. Yet for some reason he has to drive like that. Why? Why?
He's
You're
the biggest
fast.
loser in the region. He is like because like and it's and it's funny because it's like if he was just drove, he would be like have no issue, but he just treats everybody like pieces of shit and
Yeah,
treats
he's
the
a
game
troll. He
respect,
just,
has no
yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Like it's, and a lot of them are like that. Even over in what's his name, Kimmy Millicini and whatnot. He's fast as fuck as well.
Mm-hmm. They get off on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, go find something else. Like if your life is that boring, go find something else to do.
Go play Mario Kart.
Right.
Yeah, go play Mario Kart. I agree with that. Yeah, it's just
Go
just
play
fucking
Forza.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Oh
go.
my gosh, yeah, go play. If you want to do that, play Forza for sure.
Go play some Horizon.
Yeah, it's just stupidness. Just stupidness. Yeah, so this week honestly, the races were fun.
Yeah.
I
no.
love the race at Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was
Race
a
was
fun
good,
race.
yeah.
That was a fun race.
Yeah, I think that was the only one I did this week. I didn't even do any B. I think I set just a couple laps, but I never ended up doing any race B this week. It was just C all week.
Race B was okay.
Yeah, race B was fine.
I wish I would have
It was-
done it
it was
once or
okay.
twice.
Wasn't spectacular. It
Yeah,
was
Group
okay.
4 is at Suzuka.
That's the beauty
That's the
about
thing is I
having
like
a
Suzuka, but Group 4 though.
Yeah.
What was that?
So that's the beauty of having a driver's track is, people love it so much they'll forget about the other things that are in the, on the week. Like that's the
Right.
beauty about Atlanta. It's such a driver's track. It's short. It's fast. It's
Mhm.
very simple, and
It's
it's
fun.
just a very fun to race.
Yeah, that's how I
yeah.
feel about Suzuka because Suzuka's a driver's track too.
I love
It just,
Suzuka.
Group 4 is just, Group 4 is just sort of boring at Suzuka.
Yeah.
In my
And
opinion.
that's exactly it. I like Suzuka a lot, but that's just it's Group 3 or up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Super
it being
formula.
fast.
Yeah. Super formulas are the shit there.
Yep. Super
I
formulas
love
are
that
the shit
week.
there.
That
So,
was one of my
Group-
favorites.
Group
And I
two
gotta
is-
say, the Road Atlanta last week there, it's I normally have not been very fond of it. I just haven't been able to not say understand it, but understand it. You know what I mean? And then this week, Monday, I hit it, and everything just fell into place. I understood the track more. Like I was just hitting the corners properly, hitting the braking, the turns, everything properly. Finally, so I could actually flow. I was like, okay, this track's good.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
like it
true.
until this week. Honestly, I really didn't. I did it a couple times here and there. I was like, no, I can't fucking do
Right.
that track. And Monday, everything just kind of started clicking. I was like, okay,
Yeah, that's the
okay. This
best
is
right there.
all right. This is how you do that. Okay, so
Get
I
clicks,
was
get in the
I was loving
rhythm,
it.
and then you're flying.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just spectacular.
Yep.
It's just a great track. It's just a great track.
It is.
I would do that track again in the Mazdas. That was
yeah.
a fantastic
Yeah,
race.
that was fun as shit, and I
One
hate
of
the
the best
Mazdas.
races. It's one of the best races of the season.
Group
Just-
4 in this
I-
Sylvia there would be
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
I think that would be fun
good.
too. Yeah.
And
That
you know what's
would
really
be.
funny now is like I actually hope they do that again because now that I understand the track more, like I get it. I would love to get those on the Mazda again on there.
Right. It'll be 2
I know
months.
that car is fun.
2-3 months before you go back.
I hate to be that guy, but I want to redo the Red Bulls there.
Oof. I don't
Oh,
think I
boy.
did that.
It
That
was
race-
so
I would
fun.
try it.
That race was so insane. I like that. I like the problem with the high downforce cars is you're so close together. So you really get it. Really destroys. It really destroys anybody who is not in first place.
Yeah,
Yep. That's the only problem with the high downforce cars. I love the low downforce cars because of because of the ability to race so close. That's why I like the Mazdas.
right.
You could race so close because you weren't losing downforce. So you could be right on top of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And it
those things
really
are
came down
tiny.
to driver. It really came to how smooth you were as a driver. So I mean, I love
3 wide
I
in
love
some
the-
corners in those things.
so crazy. So crazy. Well, talking about that stuff, let's head over to Coach Mike's corner.
Coach Mike. Oh, yeah. Come on. What's next week, Coach Mike?
Coach Mike.
Well, we could start off with the Daily A for whoever likes doing those.
Why would we do that?
All right.
I don't know, but it's
not a
at
good
it's one of the most common tracks again, Major.
Again.
But it's the West reverse, the little one, I guess. I think it is
Okay.
with the Audi TT Quattro 03 version.
Yeah.
4 laps on
All right.
comfort soft, so it's the usual short Daily A for those. Race B is Kyoto Yamagawa, whatever, Group 3, 5
Yamagiwa.
laps. Yeah, that.
Hi.
Magima.
Hi.
So, harimasu.
Hi.
Yeah, exactly. Group 3 cars for 5 laps on
Hi.
another week of Jim's favorite tire.
Hi.
Those nice hards.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love them.
Yeah.
This just drives me
love 'em.
fucking crazy. Just drives me
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Love them hards.
Give us
Mo
at
loves
the
them
very
hards.
least mediums. At the very
Yeah.
least mediums.
Some mediums.
Make it so you can race a little bit better.
I like mediums. That
and
should
then
be
what's the last one
decent
there?
though. That should
The
be
feature race though.
The feature race.
decent. Ooh,
The
yeah.
feature race. We are heading to France
Oh.
France.
for some lemon.
Oh. Oh, lemon.
We are back at Le Mans in the Group 2 cars this time.
Okay.
5
I
laps.
love Le Mans.
With an interesting combination of ×1 tire and ×1 fuel.
But
And mediums, intermediates,
With
and
the
wets.
racing implicitly implied wet weather.
Yep.
ooh,
It's
So
gonna
we're going to
rain.
wet weather race at Le Mans again for 5 laps.
très bien.
Tire won't be a problem necessarily. Obviously, weather will be.
Yeah.
But I do say this: if you are 5 laps on the medium tires, when they do start to get a bit of wear, which is very minor sort of thing at the end, the last lap or so, do be careful of heat in the tires because
Ooh,
they will turn
yeah.
to ice instantly,
Mm.
even with the
Oh.
low wear.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Is this a Merc race?
No.
No. So
It
the
is
Mercedes is
it's-
not the fastest.
No, it's going to be the 16 GTR.
What about the Audi?
The Lexus, the usual groups.
NSX.
Yep. The usual things like that. It's because the Mercedes won't because of the chicane, and then it loses. So
yeah.
it doesn't maximize its
It's
line
top
speed
end.
enough,
Mm,
and
that's
then
sad.
loses out too much in the handling areas. So the downforce
Yep.
cars, high downforce Group 2 is going to win out.
Okay. All right.
Whatever
Well,
is your cup of tea, I guess to say.
Do you think the Audi with the DRS might work on the straights?
no.
No.
Not
I don't
fast
think it has
enough.
enough
I think
power.
it will. I don't think so. I think that's going to be more gimmicky than anything.
Because is that a 4-cylinder in that thing? Isn't that what that is?
They are in
Audi.
the GSR, NSX, and the Lexus.
Oh,
They're
no
2-liter
Oh,
4-cylinder.
really?
Yep.
No shit in those GT500 cars?
Yeah. 2-liter 4-cylinder. Maybe they're 2.5s, but I believe they're 2 cylinders.
Yeah, because I could have sworn
4-cylinder,
DTM
2
they
liter.
were 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
They were the
4-cylinder,
same.
2-liter.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's going to be one of those races that you never know what you're going to get. You might be able to get a bit of wet, but the wet doesn't, do anything. A little hint to anybody that doesn't really know is if you're looking at your weather radar, the first light kind of patchy rain that you usually see that just colored on the map doesn't usually do anything. It's when you get into the bluer and the darker and the colors where you have to worry. So if you have a patch and you're not sure if it's going to pass or not, and it's just that, it's going to pass. Don't worry about pitting. Just go. Save your headaches. And then even still judge accordingly to the quick patch because it might rain and it might get slippery for a minute, but it's only going to be for a minute.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very large track.
It's a huge
rain
track,
at one
so-
end, clear at the other.
And if it does rain, it's going to come down to strategy. Do you pit or do you not pit?
Right.
Do you pit or do you get around and pit next lap? Like, you got to remember, it's the weather will move fast. And so you're going to have to be on that radar coming around near the end there to see what's going to happen before the lap happens. So,
yeah.
Should be
about
interesting.
4 minutes if you decide to gamble and you gamble wrong.
Right.
Screwed.
Oh, yes, so screwed.
You're done.
So
done.
D-U-N. Done.
well, that's the thing. It's a 4-minute lap, right? And you also got to look at it. It's not the time of day moves probably at 3 or 4 times. So, I mean, it's going to come in quick. If it's a heavy rain and you're going to look, you could see the map. It's like, okay, zoomed out. I'm going to need tires for at least a lap because this is going to soak the track for a lap. You can't risk going around at that, if it's like, oh, maybe going to get through half it before it starts to get wet.
Shit.
If it's going to get wet and you think it's going to get wet, it's going to get wet quick.
Yeah. Ooh, this is going to be fun.
So quick that you'll be basically going into the pits. Oh, it's dry, but you're going to be wet by the time you come out.
Right.
If it's going to get wet, it's that quick. So,
right.
Look how many. Like I remember that race with Todd last time I saw him. It was fine, and then the track just got soaked, and everybody went off, and I was just like, oh my god, Todd's winning the race now. He went from like 6th place to like 1st place by like multiple seconds, and then he went off. It was just like just because it was just overwhelming. It came on so fast within like 2 corners. It just flooded. Everybody was hydroplaning.
Right.
And that's the weather kind of patterns they put on that track. So remember last wet race, it's going to be something similar to that kind of things like that where it's just going to come on.
Right.
So be prepared.
Be ready.
I just want to
get
recommend when the rain comes, just give
Is it
that
coming hard?
assist a shot. Give it a shot.
How hard is it coming? Just coming. So hard. Sorry, Mullet, what were you saying? I just couldn't get past coming
lost.
hard.
Yeah.
I think that you counter steer assist a shot in that rain.
Okay.
I think it's more of a legitimate TCS than TCS is. I think it'll help your car stay fairly stable going through the chicanes and coming out of the corner.
Yeah. And you're not going to want to hit the curb, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think what's funny is how many people think that. Well, I had to tell Brandon this last week to turn on his default ABS.
Okay.
And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Everybody uses default ABS.
Yeah.
Turn it on.
You almost have to.
You're going to be faster." I'm not afraid of turning on TC.
Oh, if I have to, I will.
If it's rainy, I don't have any problem turning it on.
If it's going to save my life from spinning, I'm turning that shit on.
Turning it on. I am not that proud. I'm like, yep, I turned it on.
Yep.
You got a problem? Well, if I end up being faster than you, then it's your problem, not mine.
Yep.
So
Yeah, especially if it's raining and you're on medium. Shit, yeah.
Even without that, like look at like starting the race, depending where you start in the
Right.
corners. Like
Yeah.
at Le Mans, you're going to be in part chicane.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Traction
That's true.
control to
Yep.
start in a Group 2 car.
Cold tires, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming through
cold
the
tires,
chicane.
Group 2.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Look at
No.
like it's using something that's built into a car. It's there to keep the car stable and fast.
Yeah.
If you're spinning out, you're not stable and you're not fast. So if you need to use it, use it.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and-
Tisney
Well,
do that
Group
all the time.
3,
Tisney does that.
Yeah.
Let me just
Tis-
point this out too. After you, Mike.
I was gonna say is Tisney fucking starts in the same aspect. I'm in the corner. I'm putting my traction control on, and he'll leave it into the first corner sometimes, just to make sure because of the cold tires.
Right.
Like even he understands that. Yeah, a little bit of traction control, even in the first corner, coming out of that first corner with the cold tires, it's good to have. Okay, got a bit of warmth now. Not perfect, but okay, I can turn it off now. Like you don't have to run the whole time with it if you don't want to, but use it for the stability factor, so you're not putting your foot down and your tires just go woo.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Just remember that in regular sport car racing, they have traction control
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got the dial.
and anti-lock braking.
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't you need to realize that in GTD and in what is it, LMP3 and in the top prototype series, they all run traction control and they all run ABS braking systems.
Yeah. The
So
car, like GT3 and GT4 cars and stuff like that are also designed. They're designed to go faster with those things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so that
so
you
if
can
you
just
need 'em,
push the
use
car
'em.
without. Yeah.
Fucking A. That's right.
So, Sean, you were talking about the Toyota Cup.
Oh, yep. Toyota Cup is starting on the 30th. And they will take the 4 of your top of the 7 rounds. So your 4 best rounds out of 7 will be your mark. And out of each country, so North America, they're only taking 3 competitors from North America. Central and South America, 3. So they're your 6. Because then Europe, Middle East, and Africa are 9. Asia's got 4. Oceania's got 2. TGR slot 2. I don't know what that is. That's 3. So that's 24 total competitors. But yeah, it starts on the 30th and it runs into August. I'm looking at the schedule. And it looks like the AE86, the 83 is the first round at Fuji. I'm probably not going to do that one. The first couple are kind of okay. The GR Yaris, May 14th at Sardinia. Road Track B. Might do it.
Yeah.
But the hybrid at Le Mans is on June 4th. I will, because isn't that Le Mans weekend too?
Yeah, I think it is. Yes.
So, okay. So hopefully that's kind of an endurance race. Hopefully that's a long race. So
They've
definitely
been
be
giving us
doing
longer
that
races.
one.
So
Yeah, and I would
25,
imagine if
30
that's
laps
gonna
there.
be on the same weekend, that should be a decent one. Maybe another hour race. Would be
Hour and a
good.
half.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
I think like 48 laps.
Hell yeah. Dude, the
I
focus
can't wait.
to stay into
Can't
that.
wait to try this.
Dude, that would be great. I would love that. If they did that.
Yeah, and mimic a
June
full
10th.
24-hour cycle.
Okay.
June 10th is Le Mans, so it's the week
Okay.
before Le Mans.
Perfect. So that works. Because then, the
Get you all
25th
excited.
is the virtual GR86 BRZ Cup. Street cars. Maybe do it.
I'll be 50 then.
Oh, what? Say that again, Todd?
I'll be 50 then.
Ladies, it's
that
going to be the
race.
big 5-0. Go show him some love.
Yeah, go show him some. Old men need love too.
Yeah. Get that special
50,
treatment.
Don't you mean 60?
Yeah.
That's me with
Wait.
my protein shake.
Wait, you've been lying about 55? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry,
Decade older.
but Grandpa Sean and his protein shake. Hey, honey, could you bring me the insure, please?
That was so good.
That coffee
Everyone's
is
showing their
way
coffee.
too strong for me.
Todd's got
it's
his
better than salted
Frappuccino.
coffee.
Yeah.
Jim's got his fucking
Jesus Christ.
hardcore fucking
30 ounces
What is
of
it?
Black
Simon
Death.
Metro Gold shit. Some hardcore
Sumatra.
shit. Jermaine's got some energy drink. I got my protein shake.
He's got his insure.
Right. Not insurance. Premier from Costco. It's the good stuff.
I
It's,
get it cheaper than the insure from down at the regular
the
grocery
insure is
store.
for old people.
I hate it all.
And then I have to
Buy it
shit
all.
after I drink it.
Oh
And then Mike with his double coffees that he forgets, and then takes a huge sip of some old ass coffee.
Double salted coffee, not salted caramel. He put salt in the coffee
I
because
didn't
somebody
put salt in the fucking coffee. I didn't do it. They make the coffee for you, and they fucking put salt in my goddamn coffee.
Who does
God
that?
dang it, Tim Hortons.
Why would they think
Tim
too?
Tim does that.
So weird. He wanted
Tim Horton is
salt.
rolling in his grave after that one.
Oh, poor old Tim.
Oh shit! So there's
Oh,
a
so funny.
look into our group chats.
Fucking shit.
Right.
But
So
it tastes like chocolate.
chocolate. It does kind of. Not really. You gotta. I had to get used to that taste because it tastes like dirty butt.
I'm gonna have to taste that because I'm probably an expert on that. So.
I wouldn't know what dirty butt tastes like, so got no comparable.
I have to come over to Sean's house and taste his chocolate protein and go, no,
That ain't
no,
it. That ain't it.
No, that's not.
It's
dirty butt.
close, but just quite not there.
It's bad, but it's not dirty butt.
Not dirty butt. Sweaty dirty butt. And that race is at Auto Topless for the GRs and the BRCs.
Nice segue back to
Right,
I forgot what we were talking about.
So,
yeah. Way to bring it back to the Toyota.
Way back in. Then you got July 16th, and that's going to be the Supra race car, or the Group 4.
500?
No, Group 4 GR Supra or the 86 at the Nürburgring Sprint. So you're going to have your pick. I'm thinking the
short track.
86 will probably be better. For that.
The super race car is really good right
Is
now.
it?
It
The
depends
Group
on
4?
it depends on it's one of the best ones on Daily B right now as well.
Shit.
It's going to depend on if that is a tire race or not. The super race car will kill its tire compared to the 86,
Okay.
especially on the sprint course.
Yeah. So that one should be fun. And then August 6th is the Mazda RX Vision, the Subaru BRZ GT300, or the Supra Racing Concept 18 Group 3s at Grand Valley Highway 1 for August 6th. And that's round 6. And then round 7, August 27th, to be announced. And then the grand final is in November. So I think I'm going to do a few of these.
Yeah.
But
Unless they change the BOP, it's going to be a run make for
Yeah.
even Grand Valley.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's two spots, the two straightaways on that Grand Valley. Basically, the Super will just run away.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was following Dave in the Supra, and I got off the final corner before the final straight on Nürburgring. Got off, started catching up to him, and that car just
gone.
walks. Like, it's not even funny. Like, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm a half a second behind him, definitely in the slip, and he's just like, and he gains like 3 or 4 tenths down the straightaway, if not more. He just walked away.
Jesus. Well, I would have
I'm like,
thought
come on.
the Lexus would have been okay because it's a Toyota product. But, dude, that thing was slow. I got in the slip, I think, of the Beetle, and the Beetle was walking away from me. Dude, that thing was fucking slow as shit.
It took a little while to get there at the top, and then the slip, the McLaren was fast.
Was it?
I was hitting in the slip coming down. I was hitting 174 or something like that coming down
No,
into the
I
last
wasn't
section.
even close. Wasn't even close.
Even myself, all by myself, coming off like that. After the first sector there, you come up over the hill, and then you get that long, windy, fast part. I was getting over 170 down there myself in the McLaren, like just flying in the fucking thing. Like I was surprised. I was pulling speed on everybody.
Well, that
No,
might
the
be
Porsche was just slow in a straight line. It was great everywhere else. Man, it's just such a good car to drive, but it just has no speed. Like, it handles so well, and then just dies on the straightaway. It's really sad.
That sucks. I know
I
you
like the
Good.
The McLaren is just momentum. If you keep the thing moving, the thing stayed fast. Like it was just, I found if you had to really slow down, it was kind of like compared to everything else to get going again.
Do you
I don't know if
think
it was
that
just me? Like Mullet, you were driving it, right?
The Supra? No.
No, the McLaren?
No, the McLaren.
Yeah, I was driving the McLaren. McLaren's got no shot whatsoever.
What do you think for the official season of manufacturers? Do you think the McLaren's a contender?
Not a contender to win it. A contender to possibly make the dance, as in the top 12 manufacturers. Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's sitting somewhere in the 6-7 range, like best manufacturer, because the Group 4 McLaren is pretty strong.
Really good.
But the Group 3 one, it's such a popular car though, so a lot of people pick it.
Okay.
And a lot of top players pick it. But the thing is it just loses to so many cars. The Renault is an interesting one in the mix now because that car feels kind of like a mixture of pre-update Porsche and pre-update McLaren.
Okay.
And it's really difficult to pick McLaren over that car right now.
You know what? That car was fast. That car was fast on Saturday. The Renault. Renault was really fast on Saturday. It's making me think maybe I need to start looking at it for manufacturers.
Okay. That good.
And I like the sad thing is the Group 4 Renault, I love it, but it's slow.
Yeah. If we don't get a BOP update, right, it's very clear that if you want to win races, you have to pick Toyota.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very clear and it's very sad. The next three are a toss-up because the next three is BMW, BMW, Renault, and Porsche, right? And Porsche only is there because of how solid it is on the overall of the circuits that we have in GT7. Like if we get into any race that you don't have to worry about getting over 150 miles an hour on the straight, that Porsche is going to be a very, very good pick. So like those right there are the top 4 manufacturers.
What about Nissan?
Nissan, yes, Nissan is there too. So I guess we'll throw
because you have the
the
18, the 13.
What about Subaru?
Subaru,
because
I
they're
don't know,
usually
man.
up there.
But their Group 3 cars aren't very strong. Now the BRZ has like specialty tracks, if that makes sense. Like if we go to like Catalunya, no chicane, BRZ's best car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we went to certain layouts of like Kyoto, like what we're gonna see, that car is the best car because it takes the sweeper corners 10 miles an hour faster than
Right.
any other car in the group. So
Yep.
Subaru is just better in Group 4, in my opinion. Well, Group 3 is just kind of in a bad state, honestly. It makes me a bit sad to say that, but it really is, because once you get past McLaren in the grand scheme of things, the meat of Group 3, if you will, like it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. It's not in a good state. We need a BOP update before this official season starts, or 60% of us are picking Toyota.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping they do one.
Yeah, and I just, because I don't, in the end, I know I'm not going to finish, and be going to the big boys stage. So it doesn't worry me that much when it comes to choosing something other than Toyota.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't hurt my feelings because I know where I'm at. And I know, depending on the tracks, if I decide to choose something like Porsche, I know I'm going to be solid most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I think once we see the schedule,
Your
I'll be
Group
able
4
to pick.
races, you may suffer.
Right.
Yeah, the Group 4, that's the sad thing, is that car is fast until it hits anything that has to do with a speedway.
Oh, yeah.
You hit a straightaway, and it's like you throw the car into reverse, and you'd go faster.
Well, too, we're going to have to look at the schedule, see what's going for what are the tracks, and then figure out, okay, what's the strongest car? Because they're only going to probably pick like four or 5 rounds out of however many we do for it to go towards your points. So pick 4 or 5 races that you're really going to do well at.
Right.
What kind of car you want to get for those tracks.
Do well.
Yep, at all those tracks. So, yeah, and then hopefully if there is a BOP update, so much goes into it.
There's going to be a lot, especially if there's a BOP, because it's like what the tracks, what the settings are, the length. You know what I mean? Are they going to put a fucking tire burner on or a gas burner on? Is that going to take this car, that car out of the picture because of that now? Like if it comes down to, massive tire season, teams like cars like Porsche, McLaren, Renault, they're going to be more dominant. Because they're great cars on top.
Be there too, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like it takes Toyota out of the picture, kind of, because Toyota is horrible on fucking heavy tire.
Right.
I mean, if it's a heavy tire season, yeah, they might qualify well, but long race time, especially if they continue the more longer 35, 40, 50-minute races, that Toyota is going to drop back. It's going to have issues.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the other thing is maybe the BOP is not that terrible if they start putting strategy in. You know what I mean? Yeah, the car is fucking fast, but if it's not really good on the higher fuel and higher tire, they haven't really done shit like that. They've slowly gotten it changes like longer races. They did some tires and fuel before. Now let's get the longer races with the tire and the fuel and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the next exhibition before the final thing happens.
You think we'll have one more?
I don't know. If that Toyota Cup is starting, they're going to be starting the season soon too.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Into May, maybe mid-May.
So my problem with this though is it is not as good on tires as the elites, of course, and honestly, it's comparable to the vet that it is on tires. The thing is the straight line is so strong in that car, right? That okay, you're still gonna need to outdrive it in the corners, and then you have to get past the car itself. And if the car is lapping faster than every other car in Group 3 right now, which it is at like 80% of the tracks, like by the time the tires start falling off, like it might already be too late.
Too late,
And
yeah.
it's like,
well, there's the thing is if they do it long, if they go with tires, they do things like maybe like they used to, and you have to use all 3 compounds, and it's a long race, and the tires drop off quicker for everybody in general. and you're a Toyota driver, and because they're dropping off quicker, and you're gonna have to use all tire models, you're using one less soft, two less medium, fucking vice versa. You're on the hards for 4 extra fucking laps compared to the McLaren. So that extra half a second a lap, I just got back in 4 laps easy. I mean, like that. I understand what you're saying. It is such a fast car, but if they work in, it's a lot of tire wear and a lot of track time, and you got to use all these tires. That Toyota comes back in the pack real quick because it is shit on fucking hards.
Yeah, but my issue with it is right now in the current state
It's so
is
fast.
A McLaren on softs is slower than a Toyota on mediums. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what? Well, do you think? Okay, so I guess speculation. Speculation. Do you think they're actually going to update the BOP and make the Toyota slower or any of the other cars faster? Honestly,
I don't.
I don't know.
Toyota
because-
throws them the most money. I don't see them nerfing Toyota.
I think if they're going to do it, it'll be in this next update.
The
Since
biggest
They don't
problem
have.
with
To,
the biggest problem
they
with
don't have to-
Toyota is their gearing. Like the gearing is the biggest problem in that car. We could nerf it to hell, but if they have the gearing that they have and the boost that they have, it's still going to be strong. You know,
right?
other cars need to get a buff,
Yeah,
but they need to actually put some work into the BOP,
Into those,
into the
yes.
settings of these cars to make them more
Mhm.
balanced. And just doing power for performance isn't the only thing.
Always
You
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, you have your mid-speed tracks, your high-speed tracks.
And don't they
And
have
low
settings
speed.
for those too? So at each one,
Supposedly.
they're changing the settings
Mhm.
for each car.
Yeah.
So everything
But-
else just kind of needs a boost, and the Toyota can stay.
They should just take the stability out of from the Toyota and make it worse to handle. And fucking every
Make it a
time you try to
pig.
fucking turn, it goes off the fucking track.
I just think
it won't be worth driving.
It handles too good
Yeah.
for what.
I used
I
to
mean,
Well,
love
exactly.
the
Just
Toyota.
take the stability back away from it. It used to understeer like crazy, and that top speed was countered out by the fact that you couldn't turn corners in the fucking thing before. You can
No,
kind of
it's
turn
just
it
like
now.
the Supra is a smaller wheelbase than the Vet. That the Supra can jump curbs and the Vet you do it, and the car's all over the fucking place.
Mhm.
Yeah. But like at the beginning of GT7 and even back in GT Sport, the Supra was always pretty fucking fast, but you couldn't turn in the fucking thing. Now they've changed it so now it handles fucking pretty decent and it's faster than fuck. That's the problem. Take that turning ability, but make it understeer because if you want this much speed, it's gonna understeer like a motherfucker. You know, and that's the same with the Corvette. Corvette understeers like fuck used to, you know?
Yeah.
And it was fast as fucking sport, but it understeered like a fucking boat. You know, put it back to that. You know, like look at even the GTR back in sport was fast as fuck, but it wouldn't hold the track. The tires would fucking shred in the lap. Like it had its disadvantages. Give these cars that were, you know, don't take the speed and then nerf everything that way. Put the disadvantages that it had before when it was better. You know. Group 3 in sport was not that bad. It
Yeah,
is
it
now
wasn't.
because they put all these cars that it's like they made everything too stable. So all these cars that are overly powered, they're way too stable now and too drivable in that way that you can just rip through the truck. So okay, that fucking Supra is a second faster. Everybody, you know, like because it shouldn't be handling if it's going that fast. You know. Do something to either make it like the gearing so it doesn't go that fast, you know, let it handle like they did with the fucking what was it was it the Vantage. They turned that into a handling car. You know what I mean? They took all of its top speed away and now it just handles. It used to be a fast as hell car.
I'm definitely on the side for what you said earlier, like increase the performance on the rest of them and don't touch the Supra. I'm on that side. I
Yeah,
really
that'd be
am.
good.
Because like I think that Like, just the Supra is just reaching speeds that GR3 was reaching pre-update. That's the problem. It's same speeds. And now all the other cars don't, except for what? The Ford test car and the Citroen, which are both really bad cars overall.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's just one of these things where, like, it's a good car. It is great to drive. I love driving it. I'm not knocking on driving. I love driving it. It's just I want to be able to use more than 5 cars on track.
Mhm.
That's
Me
just my
too.
No,
that's my
and
issue with Bob.
this is what I said from the very beginning. I mean, you've got a computer program that can get the best out of every car. Why don't you use that, see what the times are, and adjust it to where Sophie is hitting the exact same time in every car consistently?
Yeah, exactly. That's a fucking really good way to do it.
I like
I
that.
mean, you have a testing model there that you can use,
Mm-hmm.
but they do, but again, I think honestly, there's a huge possibility that money comes into it.
I'm sure it does.
And why would we make the manufacturer that has given us the most money the same as every other car? Even though it should be, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
there's a way to do it, then they're not willing to do it, it seems.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is then they just if they don't do something like that, it's gonna be like Mo was saying, it's gonna be another Toyota Cup. We're gonna have 2 Toyota Cups in the nations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
you know,
That,
it's kind of sad.
What it's shaping up to be.
it was very disheartening in season 2. My first like season in GT1, my first time being an A plus, getting in those lobbies and seeing guys in the daily races that I'm typically faster than, but because I was in a vet and they were in a Supra,
They're
they're
f-
like 4 tenths a lap faster than me. It was really disheartening, you know.
yeah,
And I honestly, I really don't want to deal with that again. And I'm still leaning towards McLaren for my pick. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. I might just roll the dice with the Nissan and just like, all right, like, I'm going for it as high as I can.
Yeah. And that like you just actually said like that's kind of one of the big keys right there. What you just said is like you shouldn't have a car that's so fucking strong. A driver who is superior in speed overall can't even hold a candle to the wind to a driver who takes that car. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that
you're
shouldn't
going
be
in,
happening.
like you're faster and beating these people on a regular basis because you're a superior driver. You shouldn't have to like be going into something and you should be able to take any car and be competitive. At minimum
Exactly.
competitive with everybody. Being a superior
Exactly.
driver, not being blown out of the water by a guy who is like not to say lesser, but lesser than you are in their standards and driving speeds and everything, and don't even stand a chance. Like it shouldn't be that night and day. It shouldn't be. If
yeah,
you take that lesser car, you should be able to still compete because you're a better driver overall. And not being able to compete in any other car is pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah, it's disheartening. It's
Mm,
like I said, it was a realization that I came across like doing
mm,
season 2 of last year, my first like official GT1 season for me, and seeing that happen, noticing the people that I was racing against, and just being like, well, why don't they beat me in dailies? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't these guys faster than me then? Like, why am I just losing here? And you don't want to ever be that guy that's like, oh, let me just pick the best thing. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be that guy.
mm,
We just want to be the guy where we're like, yo, I want to
mm.
pick my favorite manufacturer. You know,
Yeah.
I'm leaning McLaren, but there's still a part of me that is like, yo, I want to go Chevy because that's just who I am. It's who I've always been, is
Hmm.
Chevy. I'm a Chevy guy forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you look at it like you look at like all of us. Like it's very rare. We do it, but it's very rare we're in the meta cars.
Mhm.
in any daily race or in even manufacturers, and you know what I mean. It's very rare. We randomly pick that. We pick things that we feel comfortable that we find that are competitive. Maybe not
Yeah.
against the OP, but competitive against everything else. You know what I mean? We test it. Well, I don't like the feel of this, so I'll try this. I'll do this one. Like, you know, Jaguar to McLaren, Porsches, freaking Ferrari, Ford. Like, we don't give a fuck. We just race. You
Yeah.
know, and it needs to be anything you pick because you want to rate, you know, that should be it. You're a Chevy fanboy, you know, take Chevy, you're competitive. You know, Todd, you want to take your NSX out all the time.
Yeah, Honda.
You know,
Yeah.
you should be able to and be competitive. You know,
Yeah.
like Sean should be able to jump in his Ferraris, you know, and be competitive. You know,
Damn,
like
I wish. Oh, I
you know what I
wish.
mean? Like it's they and like Jim says, it's not hard. You got Sophie. You have an AI who can master every fucking lap to the utmost perfection without making a mistake. Make it so she can drive every car, maybe not sector to sector exactly the same speeds, but every lap is the same speed. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
you can get every car to the exact same. It might be faster but and slower in this sector, but she still gets that car. Every car gets there at 143.9. You know, like somehow. You know, it's not that really that hard, especially when you have that many computers and stuff like that going to town on it. You can crunch the algorithm. It's not that hard.
You just need to do some work, PD. Stop being freaking lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
But
You
it's
know, and
improved. It has
again,
improved.
yeah, and I think
It has. It does take time.
I think races are starting to get a little better too. When it even comes to like our daily races, I think they're starting to get better.
They are.
When it comes to still, they need to think about the 1-1. They, you know, tire fuel. They need to think about having hards in every B race. You know, to do some stuff. Think about your drivers a little bit and what they want to do. You know, I think the majority of drivers want softs or mediums in the B race as opposed to hards. Then you have your rare drivers that want that, you know, which is fine. I don't. I mean, I'm glad you like the hard tires mullet, and I understand why you like them. But majority of people are, you know, what B racers or low A racers, you know, or maybe B is the highest ranking for 90% of
Average. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
average player.
he is the most.
You know, I mean, I think we have to think. You have to sort of think about those players too, and
And they do. That's
you
the
know,
majority of who plays.
you know, but then they don't think about, well, why if that is, why aren't they giving them the easier tire to run on? You know, the tire that's going to give them the most pleasure driving around the track. That's, you know, that's my question there. But you know, it's it's been nice to get the newest update. The newest update, especially when it comes to car physics, is really good. I love the way the Porsche handles now because it's not as point and squirt as it used to be. You have to drive the car more than you used to.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think
The
again they don't have to concentrate a lot on the PS4 model now. It's strictly PS5. I would think now moving forward. So you know they're able to get this game up to speed a little bit more, hopefully in the next couple months with these updates.
Hopefully, they get it squared away before official season starts. That's all I really want.
That's
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully.
Because I agree,
fingers crossed.
there shouldn't be one car that is that much faster than everybody else.
No.
Yeah.
You know, I should be able to hop into an MR or an FR car and drive whichever one I like to drive more, and it shouldn't matter, it shouldn't matter at all. We should be, someone of my exact skill level should be hitting the same exact lap times.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. Not exact, but you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
2 or 3
close.
tenths. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We should be
Yeah.
within a tenth of each other. And it's just not the way it is. And that's frustrating when we're coming up to a season and we're going to have to be dealing with the likelihood is everybody is the Toyota's not going to change and it's going to stay strong.
Yeah. I think
That's
gonna
just
be
the
the
truth.
case. Yeah.
It is. It is.
And
agree,
it sucks because I want to drive the Porsche and Mike wants to drive the Macker and Mullet wants to drive the Corvette and Sean wants to drive the Ferrari and Todd wants to drive the NSX, but that's there's going to be one car that's extremely faster than everybody else.
Yeah, and
And
if you want to
that's-
compete, you gotta pick, unfortunately, the Toyota. If you want to be competitive.
The Yoda.
Yep.
Dude, Toyota is the leaderboard car at Kyoto. Again. Like, dude, it was even putting top 100 lap times this week at Road Atlanta, and honestly, it has no reason to be there with the fact of what that track is. It had no reason to be there. If Toyota is there again, like, if they don't do anything about that, like, I don't really. I might just puke.
Yeah. Well, again, Toyota throws a lot of money towards Lifany, so
Yeah, it's
they
just
get number 1 treatment.
Yep. I just think that I think that's pretty sad and
Somebody
it's
just
not
call
how
up
it should
Chevy
be.
and tell them to start throwing money at him. Let's see what happens.
Hell yeah.
Come on, 100 grand, 100 grand. Just do it.
I got 5 on it.
No, Chevy'd have to throw, I think, a couple million.
Dude, we need that C8R.
I got some toonies.
So he's got some
Yeah.
toonies. I got 5 on it. We'll throw some bounds
Yeah,
down.
come on, GM. You're the second largest
Yeah.
manufacturer in the world, behind
You can
Toyota.
afford it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Don't let Toyota
Now-
show you up.
Oh shit.
I just want to say GM is massive. I mean, just look what the NASCAR race today. I mean, it was a GM GM product that ended up winning it by chance. By chance.
KB. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was hoping for an exciting race at Talladega like it used to be, and it just wasn't.
It's not.
Yeah.
I can't like
Restrictor plate.
Agree with
Yeah,
you.
but think about this. Restrictor plate, right? Restrictor plate races used to be pretty good. Like,
They
restrictor plate
were.
races used to be really good. Last year before last, they were great. And then all of a sudden, you just have one of the most boring NASCAR races you've ever watched.
See, I don't even agree with you about them being exciting last year. I feel like I haven't seen a good restrictor plate race since 2007 when they were introducing the car of tomorrow. All right. And I'm not even talking about the COT being the car that was fun to watch. I'm talking about the Gen 5s. That's the last time I've seen a good restrictor plate race. And it has not been exciting for me to watch Talladega. I like Daytona, I do, but I still hate watching that 2 wide or single file draft tandem. Man, I miss when there used to be a group of cars that would break away, and it'd be like 5 cars in those packs that would break away. Things that Dale Earnhardt Sr. used to do back in the day at those restrictor plates, you can't do with today's
You can't.
No,
races.
you can't do it all. No.
Terrible.
I don't think the average fan wants to see a group breakaway. They want, everybody there, all the advertisers and sponsors.
Yeah, here's the
Um,
problem though, is you don't even get any movement anymore.
You
Yeah,
don't.
they're
Like
not.
literally, you
It's
go out, they
stagnant.
all
It's
line up.
stagnant.
It
Yeah.
is 40
There's not
cars
enough.
in line, not
Yep.
doing anything. Which I mean, a couple years ago, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as it was today.
Yeah,
Today was probably one of the most disappointing quotes restrictor cup races, speedway races I've seen. Today was not good. And there are certain races that I watch during the year. One is Daytona, both spring and fall. Talladega, spring and fall,
yeah.
and then I try to watch all of the
Road races.
road races. The road races are exciting.
They are.
They are. They're
They're
very
awesome.
exciting.
There's
Chicago.
nothing exciting about the other
3
two
months.
races. Are you going?
No, but I can't wait to watch it
Oh.
on TV.
Why aren't you going, Tad? You're right there.
Well,
Mhm.
right there, it
We'll
still
watch
takes
out
probably
the window.
2.5 hours to get
Ooh,
down there.
damn.
Yeah.
Down
And
to
then-
good old Chicago.
Down.
And isn't it more of a shit show down there than it was?
Oh fuck yeah! And then just trying to get out. It's fuck that. I'll watch it from home.
Right? In the comfort of your own home, and you get all
Mhm.
the angles.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if that's
So
what you
well,
wanna
just
do.
to see how it goes the first year.
Well, I can tell you right now, when I go to the Portland Grand Prix, a lot of time is spent in the hospitality tent watching the race because
Right.
honestly, that's the
Yeah,
best place
it
to watch
is.
the race. It's
It
the best
is.
place to watch it. Watching it on TV is great, especially if Mario Andretti is sitting right next to you.
Oh, yeah.
That
would
makes
be
it pretty good. That
fucking
makes it pretty
awesome.
cool. What's even better is it makes it better when Mario Andretti is just falling asleep next to you too,
Oh.
because he's been to so many races,
After
and
his sub
he's been up
sandwich.
since he's his sandwich
Mhm.
after he has been up since probably 4 a.m.
He just
And
took like nap.
His midday
You know,
nap.
and he takes and he drives the 2-seaters.
Oh, he is
takes
80,
people
right?
out for-
Isn't he like 80 or something?
Yeah.
He's 80 something, dude. He's old, and every year he says he's not going to do the 2-seater drives, and does it every single year.
Hell
You know
yeah.
why? Because he loves being in a race car, no matter what. He loves being in a race car. So,
This man's so old, I think he invented a race car.
oh, I've got total respect for him. But yeah, the best place to watch a race is sitting on your couch.
Yep, it is.
It really is. And I mean, you can't beat the sound and the noise and the smell
Yeah.
of a race. Going and watching this is 1998, going to Laguna Seca and watching the GT1 cars.
Oh, that'd
So
be cool.
what an experience, full paddock passes, being right up next to the cars back when there weren't quite as many restrictions and they'd let you look at them really closely. So cool, right? But
Oh, yeah.
but still, you got to hike all over that track to get any good spots, and then you see them every minute. And then
Yeah,
you leave, and then
exactly.
they come, and then
Yeah.
they leave, and so
And if you can't see the leaderboard, then you're like, fuck, it's
yeah. So I mean, it's cool, but honestly, the best place to be is sit on your ass with a beer or
Yeah.
a cup of coffee and some chips,
Yeah.
watching the race.
Yep.
exactly.
It is.
In my
It'd
opinion.
be cool if you went to those races and they handed out like cheap tablets that like you could select a car to stay in the cockpit.
Driver,
Oh, that'd be cool.
right.
And like just literally you're at the race, but you have that tablet, so the guy you're following, you could just keep following and be able to watch them live all at the same time. I think
That would be
really
cool.
Yeah,
That would be.
I know.
mean,
Thanks to YouTube, they
you
do
could
that a lot.
It's to say, I could
Yeah,
say
they
something.
do. They'll have.
Ready. Are you ready for me to be an asshole? Or you could just have a good enough tab where you've got cellular service and you can take it with you.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
I mean, that's just me being a dick.
Get on YouTube. Go to the live cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NASCAR does
They
that. They'll have
they
like
have
Harvick and
yeah, they have like certain ones, but it'd be nice to have it
do.
on all of them.
Yeah.
it would, and you get to pick.
Yeah. You just get to pick who you want to watch, and you
And
can
you can
only
hear the
pick who you want
radio.
to watch by going to the races.
Right. That'll be the future for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be a good marketing tool. If Indy or NASCAR got into that.
Yeah.
Oh
Another
yeah.
way for the.
I mean, you watch the people that are sitting
And
there, and
interact.
they've got the radio headsets,
Right.
which are, those are pretty cool too. But
No, but it would be
Old
cool if there's a
school.
certain channel or app, when you're there that you can go on and you could also kind of be the director. So there's the bumper cam, in car cam, hood cam, and you could bounce around, but also hear the driver and engineer talking and shit like that. Hear the radio.
So Mike was saying
Chatter.
that the Fanatec GT World Challenge Group 4 was really exciting at Monza this last week.
Yeah, I need to check
So-
that out.
It was
So
pretty good.
I
Especially,
didn't get to watch
especially
it.
the
but-
last lap was phenomenal.
So
there was some tense moments on the last lap too. Some all out moments.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I'll have to remember to watch that one, and then 6 hours.
Definitely.
It's 6 hours at Portimao for WEC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, those have been coming out a week after they air, so that's good.
That's cool. Yeah.
I like that. Got to
Yeah,
check that
so,
one out.
I'll be checking that one out, especially Villeneuve's explosion.
The Le Mans series at Catalunya as well.
Oh, the ELMS at Catalunya?
Yeah.
All right. We have to keep our eyes out for that too. Just that's what we're doing
Couple
all the
spins
time.
and such, and some passes, some interesting ones.
Oh, some passes, some driving straight, some braking. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, some of that happened too, but like some traffic caused some passes and that.
Some blue shells, some red shells. You should see some skills.
Well, yeah,
on the
there
blue shell.
technically there was some blue shells that got in. Like that's what I mean, like the traffic, the lap traffic for the other like the amateur and the GT against the LMP, and that like there was a couple of incidents where the traffic got in the way and some passes happened because of it. So it made for some interesting moments.
Ooh.
Very nice.
So
Using the traffic. Hell yeah. Yeah, Ferrari Challenge was at Coda over the weekend as well.
Yeah.
That was pretty. Those races are a half an hour sprint races, and they're fun to watch. They're pretty side by side. I hopped on ACC and put together a little 30-minute Ferrari Challenge race and did that. That was fun.
Nice.
Little ACC. I wish we would have gotten that update on the PS5, but I guess I'll just have to wait because I heard that update was awesome. Everyone's been loving it.
3 cars.
Yeah, and the
4
physics,
actually, I
the
guess.
car physics
the
have been
physics.
improved, and yeah, people are loving it. ACC. Wish I had
Wow.
the pay say,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, it just takes a little bit of investment, and you can
Right.
have it on PC.
yeah,
Just saying.
not this
Just
year.
saying.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year. I'll get one of those.
I've actually been thinking about getting ACC for the PC. I've been thinking about it.
It'd be so good.
Yeah.
Would you ever do iRacing, Bullet?
Would I ever do iRacing? I wouldn't do it under my own. I wouldn't invest in myself to play iRacing. But if somebody wanted to invest in me to play iRacing, then I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not inexpensive.
It's
It
not.
is not inexpensive.
Is that monthly
the fact
for
that
that?
you have to pay yearly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like $110 a year.
Jesus.
And then you have to buy cars. You've got to buy tracks.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would absolutely get into iRacing and try to rank up there. I honestly think it would be an easier path for me to rank up in iRacing opposed to GT7, and that might hurt a lot of iRacing fans hearing me say that. But like I just could not see myself investing into that type of thing. It's just there's too much to it. I just like buying a game and playing a game. You know
Right.
what I mean? And
Right.
if I'm gonna play an MMORPG where I put in $60 to purchase it and then $15 to play the game online, there's content that is in those games forever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And iRacing to me is just it's a very large racing game, right? It is. It's very large.
Yes.
But not everything in that game should be purchasable. It should be it should be consolidated, in my opinion. Like if I wanted to play NASCAR, it should be one purchase for stock
Yes.
cars and all the NASCAR tracks. Like don't
Right.
sit there and play me with that BS. That is just terrible
Oh,
marketing.
you really?
Yes.
I thought it was set up that way.
No,
Nope.
you got to buy everything individually.
Jeez.
Cars, tracks, you name it.
And pay $110 a year?
And pay $110 a year.
Fuck
Yes.
that. Damn, Ollie
Yeah, dude.
loves that shit too.
Yeah.
Ollie's all about iRacing.
It's
Because
crazy.
all doesn't have to pay for it because he gets it from YouTube instead.
Right.
So it's free.
Yeah, I can
If
do
you don't have
that.
to pay for it and buy everything, and you can do everything whenever you want it, it's a great game. But that's the thing is the average person has to pay a fucking shit ton of money constantly to fucking
Right.
keep up.
How much are cars to
And-
buy on there?
Couple bucks a piece.
And then tracks, probably about
And
the
then
same.
and then you get packs.
Exactly.
You could get a pack, so it's
Mhm.
30 or $40 for the pack.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's
ACC is not terrible. They've done it. At least they do it all in one big fucking
Yeah.
thing. But it's a bit of a pain at times.
Mhm.
Like we want to do a race together. Well, fucking have that DLC for that track, yeah.
Right.
Shit like that. So it's still a pain in the ass. Whereas like that's what Gran Turismo kind of is ahead of the game that way. Kind of you just get it. You buy the game, you get the updates,
Yeah,
you get the new tracks,
that's-
you get the
yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah, but I
But-
still wouldn't mind paying fucking $25 twice a year to them if they're gonna give us, 10 cars and 6 tracks every 6 months, and it's gonna be the latest and
but
greatest.
That's if we're gonna
Kinda
get
stuff.
it's got to be the latest and greatest. That's the thing.
Yeah, none of this old.
Like if we're gonna put that money
tracks.
towards licensing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you're gonna make people, and that's one of the reasons why a game like iRacing is so much cost is because you are getting the new of everything constantly.
Mhm.
You got all the old stuff still.
Right.
It's all there still, but you do constantly get all the newer stuff.
They got all the new hyper cars and shit.
Yeah, exactly. You get the updates. You want the brand new fucking bet? Guess what?
yeah,
$5.99.
yeah. Well, they have a
like,
constant
it's
revenue
here.
stream for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like
And
we
if
have
you
to
want
pay
it,
for
it's
it
going to
somehow.
cost you. Yeah, if not, then oh well.
It
Then you
costs
don't
us
have
$1
it.
million to get this license
Yeah.
for this track. If you want it, it's $10.99 or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. And I'm fine with that.
Like it's, it's understandable, but yeah, it's got to be
is.
something relevant and new.
Right.
Like, I don't want a game coming out with here's 30 cars and 10 new tracks, but they're from 1960,
Yeah.
and half of the cars are road cars.
Yeah.
Like fuck off. That's what we'd be getting from Gran Turismo right now if we were to pay for a DLC. We'd be getting 30 cars, 20 of which are 1980s road cars, and 10 of the tracks that we get, 4 of them are new, and the rest of them are just variations of tracks we don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
that. Fuck that.
Well, it's
You
like
know,
I've been re-going through and doing track experiences.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me go and look at this. But I was looking at, oh, what track is that? Tokyo Expressway. Tokyo Expressway has, Tokyo Expressway has one, two, three. Oh, did I do the? No, sorry, I did the wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different track layouts.
Jesus.
St. Croix's like that too.
6 track layouts, which is just yeah. But see, at St. Croix, they only make you do one track experience, and that's the full circuit.
Yeah.
St. Croix's like that. What's the other one that's that way?
Majore's got a million.
Sardinia.
Yeah.
Sardinia is one track layout also. Like, there are certain things that just bug me. Shit like that bugs me.
There's
That
just certain
bugs.
things that bugs me.
That bugs me. Like, oh, we're gonna have 6
gears.
different. We're gonna have you do experience on every single one of the Tokyo ones, but don't worry about the rest of them.
Sure.
Like, that irritates me. Like, to no end. It's it's them being the whole, oh well, it's because they're Japanese.
Right.
This is Japan, so we're gonna celebrate the same track only backwards. Oh, we've got this layout. Well, we're gonna have to do track experience on the reverse layout too. None of the other tracks have. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, do Laguna Seca backwards. Let's see how that is. Going up the fucking corkscrew.
No, let's do the. No, I don't care about that one as much as because that's one that's never used. But Sardinia, how many of those are reverse? Same thing with not only Sardinia, but same thing with St. Croix.
Yeah.
They reverse those tracks also. So
Majority tracks.
the majority tracks.
Combinations, frontboards, backwards, fucking. There's 30 of those for Christ's sakes.
But the only one you do is Tokyo Expressway, where you got to do 6 different ones. Three different layouts forwards and backwards.
That's really weird that they did that. Like for all compared to all the other tracks and stuff like that, like that the Tokyo Express has all the extra
yeah, and I just hate the Tokyo Express tracks too.
I don't mind driving them. I don't like racing.
Yeah, if I was gonna,
I wouldn't mind like the track experience and shit on there and doing that kind of thing on them, because it is kind of just like a sprint, time trialing and that like kind of thing.
Yeah.
But racing them sucks because people don't know how to race properly again, and they always end up on Tokyo Express with wall penalties on. So any fucking bump from somebody slams you into the wall and giving you fucking penalties, ruining you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I'm still got PTSD from getting 5 seconds for hitting a wall at Watkins Glen.
Yeah. Inside wall.
Only wall.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watch that dude Devin that makes YouTube videos where he's just like idiots of the week, right?
Yeah.
There was a guy that lost it on the last turn in second place, hits the wall, gets 5 seconds, slams on the gas too hard and slams into the wall again, gets another 5, and then hits it 2 more times, 20 seconds in a matter of one straight.
Jesus.
Ugh.
He went from second to who knows where he was.
Oh my god.
Because that's how it should be. Like, come on.
Wow.
Like it's completely different if you're cutting the track or if you're like it just doesn't like on Watkins Glen coming out of the last corner. Does hitting that wall actually ever help you?
Never.
Never. So why is there a penalty there?
Yeah.
On that track, where on that track does hitting the wall help you at all? It doesn't. Yet there's still a penalty there.
You
That
said
makes
it.
doesn't make any sense.
I did the my Sunday morning key stream and for Le Mans, and he had wall penalties on for whatever reason. He turned wall penalties on Le Mans, and I fucking came to the first chicane, I guess it was at the fourth chicane at the start,
Yeah.
and I lost it on the curb. Slammed into the wall, 1.5 second penalty. I was just like, fuck this. I quit. I just quit the lobby, the race and the lobby. I was just like, bury your penalties. What a nice slap in the face. Thanks for the race, Key. And I left. I was just like, really, buddy? Like, first off, why would you need wall penalties on that track? Two, it's a practice lobby. Who the fuck turns wall penalties on in the practice lobby on top of that? Like, it was just like, dude, what a slap in the fucking face. It's bad enough PD does it to us. You have to do it too? I was just like, fuck sakes, man. Like, the penalty system is just fucked in that aspect. Like, because of that, like, people hit you, they don't get penalties. You go flying out the course, hit the wall, fucking 20 seconds of penalties. It's like, fuck off.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck,
So-
I hate one.
We have Formula One this next
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, coming up. Hell,
Azerbaijan. What do you think's going to be happening? I mean, we've had a 3-week break.
right? Well, there's going to be a lot of updates to a lot of cars.
I think
Right? I'm hoping for I doubt it, though.
I don't think there's going to be, say, much change in the pecking order. I think there'll be some somewhat, not major, but somewhat major improvements on time comparison to Red Bull. I don't think anybody's going to be obviously beating Red Bull right off the bat now yet, just from a couple of upgrades. But I do think that it's going to draw people in a bit. I think there'll be a bit more racing between the top, second, third, fourth. If Ferrari could stay in it, they could really start turning some
I'm
heads. I
hoping
think
so.
if they didn't shit the bed so much, they have a strong car.
Right?
They do.
Man, they have such a
just
difficult time. They have such a difficult
Drives
time.
me nuts.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping
Like,
so.
Um,
Mercedes could
I'm
be up
interested. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with last year's expenditure.
there. Right?
Rumor has it there's 6 teams over budget.
Oh, what?
Really? Really? 6
Damn.
teams over
And
budget.
Red Bull isn't one of them.
Well, yeah, because they figured
got
out how
trouble,
to hide their
right.
They figured out how to hide their money properly. That's why.
Got caught once. You ain't gonna catch me
Nobody-
again.
Nobody's
Yeah.
saying anything for sure, but even Red Bull's been hinting at it. It's like it's most likely because of extravagant fuel inflation and energy costs
Okay.
that nobody foresaw, and it just happened. It just like a bunch of teams that were fairly close to on spending. It's the energy costs and stuff like that threw them over the top because of the world and the last couple of years and the way things have gone. So it may be unfortunate for them though, because everybody got on F1 for being lack on Red Bull. That because of that, these teams are going to feel the brunt of it.
Oh, of course. You don't do anything much to Red Bull, but you get everybody else, because they were so angry about it. They're like, oh, well, yeah, you bitched at us about Red Bull, so we're going to get you back now.
Yep. Now it's
Each
your
and every
turn.
team that's over the budget has to put a restrictor plate in their car.
There you go.
Oh man. Yeah, that's what Red Bull. Red Bull, it's getting its hand slapped. It was really sort of crazy. But you have to realize this is the FIA. I mean, look what they did look what they did with the Ferrari fuel issue from a couple years ago. Ferrari paid a fine and they didn't say anything about it. They closed all the documents and swept it under the table. Don't worry, I fixed it out, Oh, great, good job, former Ferrari boss who used to lead the FIA. Good job, We're just going to hide all this so nobody knows exactly how bad it actually was. Because if you remember rightly, the Ferraris were super fast, and then everybody was like, hey, they're doing something with their fuel, and they went super slow after that.
Super slow.
Yeah, it's typical FIA. It's typical, it's the same thing with FIFA and all those organizations. It gives you plenty of money. You get lots of money, and you get deals for yourself.
Shit, yeah, money talks. Money talks.
That is the truth. That is the truth. So we got that. I don't know. Is it Dover next week for NASCAR?
Trying to think. I think you're right.
Dover for NASCAR. Do we have an IndyCar race next week, or is it just more practice?
I think it's more practice for Indy. I don't think, or no, I don't know.
I could have sworn there's one more race before Indy.
Yeah.
But I have to look into the schedule and see.
IndyCar.
Look into the schedule and see. And then I've got to watch Portimao, and I've got to watch the Monza race, so.
Let's see here. GMR Grand Prix.
I want to see what the money. I want to see what the money line is on the podium again. Man, that might be worth putting some money on. Just thinking about it, it's just like, man, he's a podium every time. Let's see what the Vegas line on him putting the podium again is like. Fuck, that might be worth some money.
Oh, it could be. You might be right about that. That's funny. You could be right about that.
The infield of Indianapolis Motor Speedway is the 13th.
That makes me happy. That's I love the infield.
And then
track.
Indy.
And then Indy. Yeah, I bet you it's not going to be a bunch of cars following each other.
Yeah, no. Not at all. Not one bit.
They've done a pretty darn good job of. They've done a pretty good job of making those cars really close to each other, but really, really good competition.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
It's not just cars following each other.
They're going so fast. Yeah, I think that's about.
Let's see. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Formula One is a sprint weekend or is it a regular quali?
I think this is a regular quali weekend.
I know. What are they going to do with there? You think they'll end up getting rid of the sprint races? Because they haven't really talked about it this year like they did in the past. Trying to hype it up. Feel like it's kind of dying out.
I don't know.
I think, I don't know. For me, the sprint races are a gimmick. I mean, they're like a real gimmick, if you ask me. I don't see them. I see them as sort of cool, but I don't see them as like awesome. Like, woo, I can't wait for a sprint race.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
Yeah, I don't really watch too many. Oh, there is going to be. It is a sprint race weekend this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh, cool.
Austria, July 2nd is the next one, and then Belgium, July 30th. Qatar, October 8th, United States, the 22nd of October in Brazil.
I think it'd
So
be much more
6.
interesting if they did a. I think it'd be much more interesting if they actually got points and it just wasn't for qualifying.
Right.
You know, if the top 5 teams got points or the top 5 guys got points, I think that would make it much more interesting. And I think there would be much more focus on the sprint race as opposed to anything else. So I think you just make it
And
more interesting in the end.
No, oh, I got a better idea. Do your
Mm.
regular qualifying, and then the sprint race is reverse grid for points.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
should
That
do
would
reverse
make it.
grid for
Yep.
sprint. That would
Yep.
be.
Now,
That would
all
be
those
really,
guys
really
that
good.
didn't qualify out front, you know, all the
Mhm.
really slow, like, oh, that's chaos waiting to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, they should do
That's
that.
a race.
Well, I think you know what they should do is they should randomize it, because then you're going to have the likes of, you know, Mercedes and Red Bull and all those teams just going out on hard tires, driving around a couple of times and coming back in. Well, what you do is you make it randomized, and you don't know until after qualifying whether or not it's going to be a reverse gear grid race.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
Keep
it's
them
not
on their
worth a lot of
toes.
points, right? So it doesn't matter. Like you want to qualify and qualify well, right? Because the qualifying is for the main race. Now the sprint race is a reverse grid of the quali for extra points. So it like you're gonna not want to tank your quali because you still want to win the main race. This will add an extra 5 points for the win. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And if you don't, okay, we don't want to push. We just want to kind of whatever Red Bull. We don't want to wreck our car and worry about it. So we won't worry about the sprint too much. We'll do it, but wherever we are, we are. Whereas Aston coming from the back as well and Mercedes need that 5 points. You know what I mean? To try to close the gap or to try to secure second place more. It would make things like that a little more exciting. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Max is 35 points out. He doesn't need to wreck the car in the sprint race to get the extra 5, right? He'll do
Yeah.
well enough to keep his lead and gaining his lead. Whereas, like, the second, the third, the fourth place teams are going to need that 5 points or whatever it might be. I think that would make it really exciting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but what if Red Bull doesn't get all the points that weekend? Then what happens? Or what if Mercedes doesn't get all the points that weekend?
Right.
See, there's another thing that you've got to realize, that for some reason the FIA thinks, you know, thinks that the lead teams need to be the ones making all the points. Really, truly, it seems like that's exactly what they want.
It's understandable that that's what they want, but it makes things. They want the spectacle. They want fans. That'll do it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then at the same time is what happens when the accident happens and Red Bull loses one of their cars in the sprint race. Uh-oh. How are you going to replace everything? And you're in a backup or you're in for the main race. Like it could open up a lot of possibilities doing that. Like
Yeah,
things happening from the sprint to the main race. You know, like
you know, I mean, Sheikh El Shawarma, whoever the FIA president is now, he's friends with Red Bull. He doesn't want that to happen.
Ooh.
yeah, it's true.
Buddies,
Who does he hang out with all the time? He hangs out with them all the time. You know, why would he ever want to? Why would he ever want to do anything that might endanger them, you know, being champions?
Yeah, you can't. They're buddy old pals. You can't be doing that to your pal. It just wouldn't be right.
Seems like it,
right?
yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Well,
I
think
it's all.
regardless what they want, I have a feeling that Red Bull's not going to get all the points anyways. Something in my gut tells me that
balance of odds are going to start coming around.
I hope
and
so.
Red Bull is going to start having the issues that everybody else has had for the last year and a half on and off. They haven't had the problems. They haven't had the Ferrari shit the beds. They haven't had like any real problem. They've been fairly smooth sailing compared to everybody else, finishing wise. Like Max has got one of the longest like race finishing is like going on right now, or something like that. Like, I think they're going to have some reliability issues coming up in the next few races, and I think the gap will close. And doing that at the same time, I think it's going to be Max who's going to have the issues, and then Perez is going to get fucking close, get the lead. There's going to be more tension, and I think it's going to lead to what I said before. Danny's going to get in the car.
Ooh.
Danny Ricciardo?
That's a good Drive to Survive season.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. But yeah, no, I think the reliability issues going to cause tension inside between Max and Perez more than it is, and Max is going to basically demand Danny Ricciardo gets in the car.
Oh, let's go. Bring him back. Let's do it. I'm ready. He's ready.
Yeah, I think I think he is too. I don't think I don't think Max is going to like anybody that tries to challenge him at that team though. Boy, he's going to be really angry if Perez starts challenging him.
Oh, I can't wait.
He'll pull Lewis Hamilton, where he's like, "What are you doing to him that you're not? What are you doing for him that you're not doing for me? What are you doing? You're doing something different." Like that's the accusations that were placed towards Jensen Button by Hamilton. Like, what are you guys doing? He's faster than me. Why? What'd you do to his car? When it was just Jensen Button drove the car differently.
All right.
And it just happened to be the way the car wants to be driven. The reason Danny Ricciardo wasn't fast in the McLaren was because the McLaren was not a front dominant car. It was a rear dominant car. And that's not what he likes to drive. He likes a pointy car.
Right. Yeah, well, too, even Nico beat him that one year, Hamilton.
Yeah.
He was able to get the Merc.
But there's a strange one, too, because they switched all of the mechanics from Hamilton's team over to Nico's team.
Ooh. God, that was a good season.
That was a great
Was that
season.
a Drive to Survive season? I don't remember.
Well, I don't remember.
If it was, I need to go watch it.
Yeah, it was. That was a very interesting season.
It was. Ooh, you know what? You know what got released? Gunther Steiner released a book. He released a book, and on Audible, he even narrates.
Oh boy, that's going to be a fun
one.
Gunther
Yeah.
Steiner over here. Gunther Steiner has a book
Surviving
out,
to Drive.
Oh, let me look at this.
That's the name of the book, Surviving to Drive. Gunther Steiner, and he even narrates. So yeah, that's gonna be. Here's a little taste.
This year I've been tempted to take it up professionally. Whiskey on a fucking drip. That's what I needed sometimes. It hasn't just been this year though. The shit goes back even further than that. Being kicked out of Melbourne at the start of 2020 was probably where it all started. We thought we'd be racing again in a couple of weeks' time, but what was actually ahead of us all was months and months of uncertainty. Will we survive? Will we even race again? Nobody knew.
There it is. A little taste for everybody.
What's the name of the book?
Surviving to Drive.
I seen this clip on YouTube of him talking to the press, and it was talking about points, and he's just like, "Yeah, we got 2 points last year. I would have," and he said, "It turned in the end. It turns out he said hugged."
Mhm.
And just the way he talks, you can't understand him. And in the conversation, it's swear to God, when you listen at first, it sounds like he says, "I would have fucked the whole paddock." And the guy's like, "Okay, yes, the American public will forgive you for that, blah blah." And there's just like, he turns away, he's like, "What did I say?"
Yeah, what did I say?
What did I say? And he's like, "Did you drop an F-bomb?" He's like, "No, I just like." He's like, "What would you say you did to the paddock?" He just hugged them. It's funny as fuck.
Right, he's my favorite.
Because even me at first listened to it, you swear to God, he said, "I would have fucked the whole paddock for an extra point."
Like, holy shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that shit. He's hilarious. When I saw that, I just had to get it. So, but shit, I think it's about that time, boys, to wrap her up. We're done.
2 hours.
2 hours again. We did it, boys. We did it.
We did. Kevin's gonna like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, yeah.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I don't know. Working these 2 hours a week at this podcast.
Right? It's
Really need to get paid more.
gotta get paid. Pay with them loonies and toonies. Yeah. Well, Looney Toonies.
You guys are getting paid? Yeah, it's some crazy money called loonies and toonies.
2 toonies, a loony, and a double.
Ooh.
Whoa.
What does that get you?
Salted
time?
coffee. That's what it gets you. Salted coffee.
Thanks, Timmy.
And with that, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, good morning,
night.
everybody.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
See you later. Oh, you know what?
We'll
What
see you tonight.
What are the socials?
The socials are PDX_sim_team on the YouTubes and the Instagrams. And then check me out on PDX Sim on YouTube and PDX Sim Racer on Instagram. Jimbo.
I'm PDX_Jimbo_Racer on the Instagrams, on the Twitters, on the YouTubes also. I don't think I have anything else, so if you want to head over there, that would be great. Hey, thank you to Turismo and all the other guys who have subscribed. Also, I want to say thank you to Edward and Speed Race Jason, to a couple of our customers that are listening to our podcast now and gave me some good feedback. So really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Much appreciated.
So thank you. Hey, what about you, Mike?
You can catch me on the YouTubes at PDX_N_Mix Masker. That's Masker with a K. What you type?
YouTube's at VOGZ55. And you, Mullet?
You can just find me at iMullet. Shout out to Turismo.
Yes.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Just find me at iMullet. We are growing like a weed.
Hell yes.
Yeah, some of those.
50.
If you're listening to this and you're on the YouTubes and you haven't subscribed to every one of the people on the team in Mullet, then you need to go do that right now.
Yep.
We
Do it now.
appreciate that very much.
Subscribe.
Please and thank you.
Right now, we would really appreciate it.
Yes, we
And
would.
sometimes we have interesting interesting content. Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Every
occasion.
time. Every time.
Hey, sometimes we do talk about undercarriages.
Oh yeah, well that'll
Too
wrap it up
often.
for this
Too often.
episode. Everybody, we'll see you tonight on YouTube's doing some
Remember,
daily
do it.
races.
Back to front.
That's
Front to
it.
back.
Back to front. That's how we do it.
Adios, muchachos.